Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Whiteboard Wednesdays with Werner. And I've got my colleague and friend Rudolf with me again today. We've done quite a few of these before, and it's our first one for the year.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's the month of February.
Yeah.
And actually, at the time of recording, tomorrow is Valentine's Day, Rudolf. I don't know if you've got anything planned, but my wife has signed me up for a trail run tomorrow night.
Oh, fun.
Yes, so we're going to be doing a Valentine's run.
Lovely.
Yeah,
we're doing one of those chef experiences where we're learning to make duck l'orange.
Okay, you want to swap? I'll come and do yours and you can do my run.
I think learning to cook with a glass of wine is, I think, a lot more fun than the trail run.
I think you're onto something. But we're here to talk about, with been such a long love relationship with cloud computing and hyperscalers. But the world is changing quite a bit. We've got nano clouds coming up, or neo clouds, should I say. The whole landscape is changing. And I think the hyperscalers are, that love relationship that was there. There's a few breakups happening.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a few people who are not necessarily in it for that. They're not too happy with the long distance relationship.
Yeah.
There's somebody that's, the expensive partner.
Yeah.
That's some of the typical reasons why there's breakups happening in that cloud space. So maybe let's just, go down that kind of theme with hyperscalers and see where we are. I mean, if we take a breakup analogy, the expensive X.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that partner?
Look, I think it's almost like a cliche at this point in time where people talk about the surprising costs of the hyperscalers, where you get that kind of bill shock. You almost in that analogy, you wake up one morning and your ex has kind of drained your bank account or used your credit card to buy something expensive, and it can be quite an abusive relationship, if we want to put it that way, where we see a lot of the guys still struggling with that bill shock. And the fact of the matter is that sometimes the terms and conditions of the hyperscalers change, and it's not like it's a consultative process with the people that consume those services. It's kind of like waking up one day and saying, well, this is the price increase, take it or leave it.
Yeah. And
you're kind of stuck with that bill.
Yeah, it's quite a relationship awakening that you will have.
100%. Yeah. We're actually busy at the moment talking to a customer where they've got an environment where, because of the change of the licensing and the cloud credits and things like that they were getting, they've had like a $400,000 a month increase on their cloud bill just by doing things the way they've always done it. But the terms and conditions and the way that they get billed has changed. So that's quite a big pill to swallow, with very little regard for their customers.
Yeah, no, that's when I'm going, you've been this close to being single, type of thing.
So yeah, they are looking at that kind of breakup scenarios. How do we get that out? Get that environment out of the cloud as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
because they're literally bleeding every single month they have to pay.
Yeah, it's I think, and that's the thing. We're seeing quite a few shocks in the market that's happening. Yeah, it's not easy once you're tied in there. It's a bit of a problem. I mean, the other aspect is, the old adage that long distance relationships are not easy.
Yeah.
And they don't always work out. And when you kind of look at the hyperscalers, although they've done really well. I mean, let's not take anything away from these guys. And obviously this is, with all respect, localizing their data centers, that type of thing. But in terms of the relationship, it is still a long distance relationship that
100%.
you're having, right? And that's another angle in terms of, how does this relationship survive 180 millisecond ping?
Yeah, not even just that. I think it's also that personalized service, or that, almost want to say, that intimacy that you have with a more boutique offering, or with a more localized offering. If you look at the hyperscalers, all the strategy, all the kind of the go-to market gets driven from the States, or gets driven from different places. Even if it's some of the Chinese hyperscalers that we're seeing in the market, that all those policies and everything gets driven from
those countries,
geographical locations that don't always understand the localized market.
Yeah.
And they don't understand the conditions in the localized market.
Yeah.
And I think that also causes some challenges with these things that get pushed down onto the South African space. And even if the hyperscaler is located here, all the policies and the way everything is done is driven by the mothership, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it's a long umbilical cord to
100%.
sustain and that. So from a relationship perspective, we try and have things in common, right? There's cultural commonality and obviously
100%.
localization and that type of stuff. But in the South African context, yes, local provider, someone who understands and operates, where the policies are driven from the same context as where you are. That's some of the things that we...
And I think it's something that we did mention in one of the previous videos, is the fact that if you do deal with a boutique offering like Oxide, you know the people. So you know the engineers that look after your environment. You know the people that you engage with within that environment. And even if there is an issue, the escalation point stops at Gerard, the CEO. And show me that in the hyperscaler where you have a direct phone line into the CEO of Microsoft or the CEO of Google or the CEO of Alibaba.
Yeah.
If you feel that your needs aren't being met effectively.
Yeah. There is an advantage to that. Being able to to have that kind of personal feel, that approach to things. And I think there's actually quite a few organizations that we've been speaking with in the last couple of months that are starting to understand that they're not. I think what's starting to happen is people don't want to just settle.
Yeah.
And that's another reason for breaking up, right? You want the best treatment from your partner, right? You deserve the best treatment from your partner. You're not settling for second best or the scraps, type of thing. And I think that, if we look at what a partnership, especially in cloud computing and cloud relation needs to be, that relationship needs to be, you want to get the best foot forward on
100%. I think the truest test of a relationship is always kind of when things get difficult and when things go wrong. I think that's the truest test in any relationship. And if you're in a relationship with a hyperscaler, usually when something goes wrong, it's something serious. And if something serious goes wrong, there's probably thousands of people jumping up and down and shouting for attention.
Yeah.
And you are one of those thousands of people.
Yeah.
Where in the boutique offering, it's sitting around a table, unpacking the challenge and seeing how the best way is to resolve it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, and that's the thing, a personalized attention, that you get. And that relationship is definitely not just through a dashboard interface 100%. Or through a helpline or something like that, right? So, I think, if you are thinking of the way that your relationship is going, and with all your kind of New Year view on and seeing that we're in the month of February, have a think about what relationship goals should be, and who the correct partner would be. And as data sciences and cloud services, we're happy to work with you and what that partnership could look like in the future. So, Rudolf, thank you for joining.
It's always a pleasure.
Always a fun time. And to everybody watching, really appreciate your time. Thank you for sharing with us.